ओम अजाय नमः। न हि जातो न जायेयं न जनिष्ये कदाचन क्षेत्रज्ञः सर्वभूतानां तस्मादहमजः स्मृतः। The word Aja has three meanings. The first meaning is expressed in this shloka from the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. The Lord himself says, I was not born in past, neither I am born at present, nor I will be born in future. I am there in all the creatures of this world, knowing their entire personality. So I am called Aja. The two other meanings of the word Aja are hidden there in the Sanskrit root Aja. The root Aja says Gati and Kshepana. So the Lord is called Aja because He himself knows everything. In all the languages, to go is to know. The Lord knows everything and gives knowledge to His devotees also. The second meaning suggested by the root Aja is Kshepana. The Lord keeps the evil spirits away and paves the way of His devotees for salvation. Om Sarveshwaraya Namaha. Paramodhipatistesham Vishnureva nasamshayah Brahmadi manushantanam sarvesham avisheshatah. This shloka from Varaha Purana explains the word Sarveshwara. Lord Vishnu is the Lord of all the beings, from heavens to humans. Here the word Sarva means all. The word Sarva has another meaning, that is as follows. Those who are passing through this material life are called Sar, and those who want to get realization are called Va. So, Sarva are those who, though passing through this material life, want to have realization. Vishnu is the Lord of these people also. The word Sarveshwara has another meaning also. Sarva is all, Isha is powerful, and Vara means the one who thwarts. Lord Vishnu thwarts all the evil spirits who are strong enough to harm the devotees of the Lord. Once the mighty evil spirits are thwarted by the Lord, the devotees get realization and liberation consequently. So the Lord is called Sarveshwara. Om Siddhaya Namaha. सर्वोत्कर्षे देवदेवस्य विष्णोः महातात्पर्यं नैव चान्यत्र सत्यम् अवान्तरं तत्परत्वं तदन्यत् सर्वागमानां पुरुषार्थस्ततोतः. The word Siddha has two meanings. The first meaning is explained in this sloka of Vaingi Shruti. All the Vedas and other scriptures describe the Lord as a prominent subject matter. So, the Lord or His greatness stands proved, established. The word Siddha says that which is proved or established. The Mimamsa doctrine opines that the purpose of our life is to go to heaven. To achieve this, the sacrifices are to be performed. So, the Vedas prescribe the rituals like yajnas. For the yajna, so many things are required, such as a performer, a priest, an altar, so many materials, ghee, milk, rice, and the Vedic hymns, and above all, the deities like Indra, Vishnu, Varuna, and others. So, according to Mimamsa doctrine, the most prominent things described in Vedas are the yajnas, the hymns and deities are just some parts of those yajnas. The word Siddha of Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra is an answer to this Mimamsa doctrine. The main purpose of our life is to attain salvation. The salvation or liberation can be gained only through the blessings of Lord Vishnu. Tasya prasadat paramarthi rupat samsaran muchyate naparena tamevam vidwan amrutayah bhavati nanyah pantha vidyate janaya nanyah pantha vidyate ayanaya. Only if a seeker knows the greatness of Lord Vishnu, he can attain salvation through the blessings of the Lord, not by any other way. Narayanoso paramo vichintyaha mumukshubhihi karmapashadamushmat. It is the topmost purpose, goal of a seeker that he has to know the greatness of Lord Vishnu. So, the word Siddha says Lord Vishnu is the prominent one in all the scriptures, and all the rituals are prescribed to gain the blessings of the Lord. Not the Lord is to be meditated upon for performing the rituals. The gist is, Vishnu is not for yajna. The yajna is for Vishnu. So he is called Siddha. The second meaning of the word Siddha is the one who has achieved his goal. Nanavaptam avaptavyam vartayevacha karmani. As the Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita, he has nothing to do, he has nothing to gain. Apta kamasya kaspraha. So he is called Siddha as he has achieved everything that is to be achieved. Om Siddhaye Namaha. Sarvasamapi siddhinam moolam tat charanarchanam. all the things in this universe can be gained, achieved, only by worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord. The salvation or moksha is a biggest thing among all things that can be achieved by an industrious man, and that salvation or moksha siddhi can be achieved only by the grace of the Lord. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatataamapi siddhanam kaschinmam vetti tattvataha, says Bhagavad Gita. Only one among thousands of men will try to get a siddhi, that is realization. And among those who try to get that siddhi, only one will reach me at last, says the Lord Himself in Bhagavad Gita. The devotees are of two types. Some ordinary devotees would like to be freed from this worldly life and get liberation. So they try to know the Lord and get Him. So, in the life of these ordinary devotees, getting salvation and bliss is the prominent thing, not the God. But there are some great devotees, Ekanta Bhaktas, who need neither salvation nor bliss. The only thing in this universe they want, need, is the Lord Himself. Ekantanam nakasyachit arthe narayano devah sarvamanyat tadarthakam. So, for these Ekanta Bhaktas, great devotees, the Lord Himself is a great achievement, great siddhi. So, the Lord is named Siddhi, as everything can be gained only by His grace. Om Sarvadaye Namaha. Aham Adischa Madhyam cha Bhutana Anta cha. The word Sarvadi can be interpreted in two ways. The first interpretation is found in this shloka of Bhagavad Gita. The Lord Himself says, I am the origin, midpoint, and the end of this entire universe. Here, the Sarva is all, and Adi is origin. The second meaning is found in this shloka. Mata Pita Gurur Mitraha Apna Bandhu Rathatmajaha Sarvathadiyate Sarvaihi Sa Sarvadiriti Shrutaha. The Lord is accepted, considered by all of His devotees in all the ways, such as a mother, father, mentor, friend, soulmate, and son. He consoles, comforts His devotees as a mother, father, mentor, friend, soulmate, a relative, or sun. He is the solace of this entire universe. Here Sarva is all and Adi is the one who is accepted or considered. So the Lord is named Sarvadi. Om Achyutaya Namaha. Yasmannachyutapurvoham achyutastena karmana. The Lord himself interprets the word Achyuta in the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata. I am named Achyuta as never ever do I suffer any kind of loss or damage. The word Chuti means loss or damage. All the attributes of Lord Vishnu, such as knowledge, actions, power, bliss, are eternal. So he is Achyuta, as it is explained in the Anuvyakhana of Acharya Madhva. Jnanam nityam kriya nitya balam shakti paratmanaha nityanando vyayah purnaha bhagavan Vishnurachyutah. Om Vrishakapaye Namaha. Kapir Varahah Shreshthascha Dharmascha Vrishavuchyate Tasmad Vrishakapim Praha Kashyapomam Prajapatihi. This shloka from the Shanti Parva of Mahabharata explains the word Vrishakapi. Here, Lord Krishna himself quotes the opinion of Kashyapa Prajapati. That is, the word Kapi means a pig, and the word Vrisha means a great man, and Dharma. The word Dharma means either the set of religious activities, rituals such as sacrifices, or a pious, virtuous man. So, the first meaning of the word Vrishakapi is a greatest divine boar or pig. And the second meaning is the Lord who in his form as a divine boar set the rituals such as sacrifices in this world. The third meaning of the word Vrishakapi is the one who gives eternal bliss to those who follow the religious guidelines established by the Lord. And the fourth meaning of this word is the one who doesn't give pleasure but gives hardships and pains to those who do not follow the guidelines set by the scriptures and by the Lord himself. So, the Lord is named Vrishakapi in 4 ways. Om Ameyatmane Namaha. न तत्र चक्षुर्गच्छति न वाग्गच्छति नो मनः न विद्म न विजानीमः यथेतदनुष्यात्. Neither our eyes nor our words, not even our mind can reach the heights of God. None can understand his external or internal personality. Not even one can guess what the Lord thinks and what he does. None can even decode his illegible scriptural prescriptions completely. So we don't know how the Almighty rules, controls this universe. This is a shloka from Talavakara Upanishad, which explains the gist of the word Ameyatma. The Lord is absolutely beyond our reach, but we can understand that He is the only complete man, omnipresent, omnipotent and omniscient man of this universe. So the Lord is named Ameyatma. Om Sarvayoga Vinisrataya Namaha. Putra Bhratra Sakhitvena Swamitvena Yato Harihi Bahudha Giyate Vedaihi Jivomshas Tasya Tenato. This shloka from Varaha Purana says that to these souls the God is everything, such as a father, brother, friend and a master. Nevertheless, the God is not affected by those relations, as they are divine, not physical ones. As it is said in Bhagavata, Nahi asya asti priyah kasyata na priyaha va asti amaninaha na mata na pita tasya na bharya na sutadayaha. To this Lord, nobody is beloved and nobody is a dislikable. He has neither mother nor father, not even a wife and children. In this meaning, the word sarva means all and yoga means relations. And there is another meaning to this word Sarva Yoga Vinisrata. It is the Lord who taught the three yogas, such as Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga. The mode of devotion, the mode of knowledge, and the third one is the mode of acts. And all these modes, yogas, lead us to the Lord Himself. So He is named Sarva Yoga Vinisrata. Om Vasave Namaha. Brahmachano Vaso Sachendra Yajnam cha Vardhaya. The Lord is named Vasu, as He always is with all the souls, gives them knowledge, and wards off the evil spirits which trouble his devotees. Varasuhu Vasurityuktah. He himself is an embodiment of a great divine bliss. Lakshanam Paramanando Vishnorevana Samshayaha Avyaktadi Trinantastu Vikrudananda Bhaginaha. He gives that divine bliss to his devotees also. He is an ocean of knowledge and bliss, and all other souls experience, enjoy only some drops of bliss out of that great ocean. Om Vasumanase Namaha. Anando Manovai Samrat Paramam Brahma. Devatabhyas Sumanasaha Yodadati Naraha Shuchihi Tasmai Deva Sumanasaha Tasmat Sumanasaha Smrtaha. It is known to all of us that the flowers are considered as the symbols of both devotion and love. The heavens, Devas, will be pleased with the one who offers them flowers in his worship. In Sanskrit language, both heavens and flowers are called Sumanas. Manas means mind and Su means great, pleasant. The heavens have a pleasant divine mind by nature. So they are called Sumanas. Whereas the flowers please the mind of both heavens and the worshipper. So they too are called Sumanas. The Lord is the first among Sumanasas, heavens. If worshipped by the devotees with flowers and a pleasant mind, he himself will be pleased and pleases his devotees. So he is named Vasumanas. Om Satyaya Namaha. Yat Satam Hitamatyantam Tat Satyamiti Kirtitam. The Lord is named Satya as he is the only well-wisher, guardian and godfather of all the good men. Satyo hi Bhagavan Vishnu Sadgunatvat Prakirtitaha. Lord Vishnu is said Satya as he is full of all the attributes. Tasya hava etasya brahmano nama satyamite. Tani hava etani trinyaksharaणि sat ti yamite. Tad yat sat tadamritam atha yat ti tanmartyam atha yad yam tenobhe yacchati. Goddess Lakshmi and liberated souls are considered Sat, whereas the unliberated souls are considered Ti. God Vishnu is considered Satya as he is the master of Goddess Lakshmi, and both liberated and unliberated souls. Sat Shabda Uttamam Bruyat Anandam Titi Vai Vadet येति ज्ञानं समुद्दिष्टं पूर्ण आनंद दृशिस्ततः सत्यशब्दोदितं तादृग् रूपं नित्यं यतो हरेः सत्यव्रतः ततो विष्णुः. In the word Satya, the first part, Sat, means great, and Ti means pleasure, Ya means knowledge. So, the one who is a great, complete embodiment of bliss and knowledge is considered Satya. So is Lord Vishnu. Nirdukha Purnanandatvat Yamahuhu Satyamachyutam. The Lord is called Satya as He is void of displeasure and full of a divine complete pleasure. Sarva sadhu gunatvattu vayuhu satya itiryate tasyapi satyata data sadhu purna guno harihi. Lord Prana is considered Satya as he is full of all the attributes, and he gains those attributes with the blessings of Lord Hari. So, Lord Hari is considered Satyasya Satya, the greatest among all the great personalities. Prana vai satyam teshamesha vai satyam. This entire universe is considered Satya, and the Lord creates, protects, and at last destroys this universe. So he is named Satyasya Satya, the greatest master of this universe. Like this, the Lord is named Satya in many ways. ओम समात्मने नमः. समोहं सर्वभूतेषु न मे द्वेष्योऽस्ति न प्रियः. नास्य भक्तोऽपि यो द्वेष्यः न चाभक्तोऽपि यः प्रियः. किन्तु भक्त्यनुसारेण फलदोतः समो हरिः. The Lord himself says in Bhagavad Gita that neither I hate nor love anybody, but I observe only the devotion they show to me. So I am equal to all of them. That is why I am called Sama. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shvapake Cha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. The wise man can conceive the presence of omnipotent, omnipresent God equally in a knowledgeable man, a stupid cow, an ignoble dog. Vishameshvapi jiveshu samo Vishnuhu sadaivato yat trinadigatasyapi gunah purnaha hare sada. Though all the beings are hierarchically gradationally different from one another, the omnipresent God is equally a complete man among all those beings, including a man of straw and a man of knowledge. That is why he is named Sama. Goddess Lakshmi is named Sama after him, as she is with him in all the times and spaces. Both of them are considered as soulmates to each other. So the Lord is ultimately named Samatma. Om Sammitaya Namaha. Vishnu Sarvottamatvasya Jnanartham Shastramishyate. Eteshu Vishnu Radhikya Mucyatenyasya Nakvachita. The Lord is named Sammita, as he can be known by all the seekers through scriptures. All the scriptures such as Vedas and Puranas are meant for the description of his greatness, not anything else. He is known in all the scriptures as full of all the attributes and void of all the defects. Sarve Vedaha Yuktayaha Supramanaha Brahmam Jnanam Paramam Tvekayeva Prakashayante Navirodha Kutaschita Vedeshu Sarveshu Tathetihase. If there is any contradiction in scriptural descriptions, that can be cleared out through adjusting those descriptions, grasping their inner meaning, so that all of them unanimously describe the greatness of Lord Vishnu. So is the Lord named Sammita. Om Samaya Namaha. Deshatah Kalataschaiva Sama Prakritirishware Layeva Pethava Srishta Vantaralepi Nakvachit Prakritya Rahitam Brahma Kadachit Avatishthate. The God will never be there without Prakriti, nature, that is Goddess Lakshmi, during either dissolution or creation or in between. Indira Lokamata Ma. Goddess Lakshmi is called Ma, Mother. The God along with her is named Sama, and consequently she is named Sama. There is another meaning to the word Sama. The God is there in all the times and spaces without any external or internal alteration. Like this, Lord Vishnu is named Sama and Lakshmi is named Sama in two ways.